Hi, my name is Miley McNicholas, your Miss Northeast Junior High United States 2021, and this is More Than a Birthmark. Welcome to More Than a Birthmark, the web series featuring individuals with birthmarks to raise awareness and share some fun facts about this amazing community. My name is Miley, and today we are joined by First Surgeon Scott Cupples, Director of the Vascular Birthmarks Foundation Global Ambassadors. Thanks so much for joining me today, Scott.
Hello,
Hello, how are you
how are
doing?
you?
Oh,
I'm
I'm good. How about you?
doing well.
That's good. Good day so far?
Yeah, actually, it was my first day off in a few. I don't know if you've seen, I know I posted a little bit about it. I'm down in Atlantic City running the COVID vaccination site with the Air National Guard right now. So it's been crazy. All right. So what's going on?
So, um, let's start off. Um, of course, I have to start with a little bit of bragging about you. For those who do not know, Scott is the director of the Vascular Birthmarks Foundation's Global Ambassadors Program, and the reason I have the honor of being an ambassador. For our audience members who are not part of the BBF, can you explain a little bit about the BBF Global Ambassadors Program and how it came to be?
Sure. Okay, so the VBF Global Ambassadors, I actually found out about VBF in 2016, and they didn't have the ambassador program yet. Linda actually saw me posting in some of the social media groups, and she saw I was kind of like a mentor, and I was kind of posting and talking to some of the moms who had children that dealt with birthmarks. And she reached out to me. She's like, Scott, you got to come to my conference. You got to see, what goes on and things of that nature. And I was like, you know what? All right, I'll go. And I had never had a laser treatment on my birthmark at the time either. So, I ended up going to the conference and meeting a lot of pretty awesome people. And I ended up getting more involved with BBF. So I got more involved with BBF, and they ended up bringing me on as like a part-time employee doing like administrative stuff. And from there, Linda had like, it wasn't an ambassador program, but she had something like that. And it was more like parent reps and, trying to connect people. And we brainstormed and we came up with the idea of the global ambassadors. And we thought about a goal of like maybe having like 20 people by the end of the year. Next thing you know, we had like 100 volunteers and people were signing up left and right. And the rest is history, right? So,
Right.
what it kind of means to be a VBF global ambassador, the general thing is you're spreading awareness about VBF and vascular birthmarks. But there's all different types of things you can do to, get into that. We have 5 committees. We have committees about awareness, anti-bullying, connecting people together, just things of all that nature. So that's pretty much what it is.
Right. And I am so grateful that you created the ambassador program because honestly, being able to find a community and being able to see others that have, vascular birthmarks is just so amazing because I feel like before seeing any of this, I didn't know anyone with a vascular birthmark. So, thank you again for that.
Yeah, I was the same way. I hadn't met people with like I can count on like maybe one or two fingers how many people I've met that had a vascular birthmark before I found this whole online community. So yeah, I'm glad I have the platform to be able to try to connect people that that have vascular birthmarks.
Right. And you have a facial port wine stain birthmark on the left side of your face. You mentioned that over the course of time, this port wine stain has become thicker and darker. Can you explain a little bit about port wine stains and how they change over time?
So I'll just throw the caveat out there. Every birthmark's different, right? And
Right.
every person is different. There's people that, their birthmark could be very, very light at birth and it could stay very light. And some of them go away with time and a lot of them stay forever, right? Port wine stains are considered a progressive condition. And I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm a medical expert on these things, but I do know enough because I'm around the community and I've spoken to doctors and, experts and obviously have a relationship with Dr. Linda. So vascular birthmarks can get darker and thicker and grow nodules as they age. And a lot of that is because of sun exposure. It could just be, the wear and tear of life. For me, I've been in the military now for just about 18 years. So I've been in the Air Force. And over the course of that time, I deployed to the Middle East 2 times for 6 months. And I'm also a beach person. I like to be at the beach. I'm out in the sun. I'm not always the best about sunscreen. Well, I wasn't when I was younger, I would say. and my birthmark did get a lot thicker, a lot darker. If you see pictures of me when I was your age, you could actually see freckles through my birthmark. It was that light. So obviously, it's a lot darker and thicker now, even with laser treatments. And I mean, luckily, since the VBF connected me with Dr. Geronimo up in New York, I've been able to get treatments now. I think I got 15 laser treatments to date, and been able to manage it.
Right. As you just recently said, you had 15 laser treatments, which Ava also mentioned having this type of treatment for her facial birthmark. And I know that the technology is always advancing. How old were you when you started with the laser treatments, and how do you think they have made a difference in your birthmark?
So when I was a kid, they basically told my father that I had to wait until I was older to get the laser treatment. Now, one of the things that BBF does is they try to educate doctors because that's not necessarily the case. Even with the technology differences at the different ages, there were people like I know Elizabeth Dishman when she was a young child, she got laser treatment. So that wasn't necessarily true. So it just depends on the doctors that you talk to and the level of expertise of the people you deal with. So then when I went to high school, when I was your age, how old are you, Miley?
14.
You're 14. So when I was like 13, 14 years old, I just started high school when I was 14. I was the quarterback on the football team. And it was like, I'm doing all these different things. And it's like the last thing I wanted to do was go get laser treatment on my face. We didn't have the internet the same way that you guys all have the internet, right? So we're talking like 1997, 1998. So like at that time, it wasn't as popular. So it's not like I could just go start researching things like you can today. But even then, like I didn't want to walk around and have like this big, laser thing on my face or my face be black and blue while I was in high school. So for me, I just never got treatments. And then when I turned 18, actually, like I said, I joined the Air Force when I was 19. I actually signed up to get laser treatments and I was all set to go. And my first appointment, I remember it was going to be February 2004. I was ready to go. And I got a call from my commanding officer and they called us all in and they said, hey, you guys are deploying in 2 weeks. So basically I had to go to Kuwait and eventually Iraq into right after that. So I ended up not getting my laser treatment then. At that point, I don't know, I just kind of lost interest. And I was just like, you know what? I'm me, I'm gonna live my life. And I didn't know the progressive nature of my port wine stain at that time, or else I probably would have made a different decision. So to answer your original question is when I started getting my birthmarks in 2016, and my first one was at the VBF conference where they do the free laser treatment. So I guess I was what 4 years ago. So yeah, I was 33 when I got my first one.
Right. And as you just recently celebrated your 18th anniversary in the U.S. Air Force and served our country in Iraq. In fact, I should call you by your real title, First Sergeant Scott Cupples. Thank you so much for your service to our country, Scott. What inspired you to join the military, and why did you choose the Air Force?
So when I was 18 years old, I really didn't have life figured out, right? But in my brain, I was going to go to college. I was going to do community college for a couple years, save my money, and then, eventually go to a 4 year college and go live in the dorms. Like that was my plan, right? And it was one of those things where, like, during the summer, it was going to be hard for me to live at home and still go to community college. It was just my dad had met somebody. We were all living in a very small place. And it was like, I kind of had a decision to make. And I ended up getting something in the mail. So I got my scores from this test that I took. It's called the ASVAB test to go to the military. And I did very well. So I was like, okay, let me go talk to the recruiter and see. So like joining the military wasn't like this thing that I like, grew up dreaming about. It was one of those things that just kind of happened. And from there, I ended up signing up to be in the Air Force and I went on active duty for 4 years and the rest is history. I will say that being in the Air Force, like my enlistment was more to get the benefits and like sign up and they pay for school and do the travel. And I joined the National Guard to finish up school. And I will say that my enlistment was for that, but all my re-enlistments have been because I just love being in the military, whether it be the friendships and the relationships that I built or the experiences and the travel. And at this point, right now, I'm at a stage in my career where I'm able to mentor and almost like I do in the ambassador program, where actually at this Atlantic City site that I'm here doing the vaccine COVID mission, I'm the highest ranking enlisted person here, and I have a team of 55 people. So I'm able to like groom these people and help them and kind of make sure that, they don't have a negative experience for their first activation or, whatever number of activations they've been on, that they have a good one here. So that's kind of my Air Force story, I'll say.
Right. And again, thank you so much for your service. I mean, it really means a lot. And the fun thing is hearing like that you make friendships in this and all of that is also very important because I can almost connect with it, like with dance and stuff. Like, obviously, it's very different things, but in dance, like you make friendships and stuff. I don't know. It just, you know what I mean? Like, I have kind of a relation. You know what I mean?
No, it's real important. And I was actually when we did our Instagram live, right, with Michaela the other day, we were talking about how the birthmark community, we understand each other because we're going through the same things, right? And it's just like anything. In the military, I could sit here and tell you about some things in the military, Miley, and you'd be like, oh, that's cool. But you wouldn't understand like the depth of it because you didn't go through it, right? Just
Yeah,
like if you were to sit here and talk about dance, unless I went through the dance things or the pageant things that you're going through, I don't necessarily understand the full scope of what you're doing, right? And
right.
you have your dance people, and it's something that's very close to you, and you're passionate about it, and you've been doing it for a while. So yeah, that it definitely makes sense, even though it's not the same thing.
In the past year, you were deployed to set up and run a large COVID testing site. You were also called to duty as part of the Air Force National Guard during the recent transition of power. I don't know how much you are allowed to reveal, but can you share a little bit about either of these assignments?
So the testing site is very similar to what I'm doing right now with the vaccination center. So basically, what the National Guard does is we're responsible not only to deploy overseas, but we also do things stateside. So we're here for like natural disaster relief, such as when Hurricane Sandy came up and hit New Jersey. My unit actually helped out when Hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans really big. Like they deployed down there to help out. So when it comes to the COVID vaccine, they looked at how the National Guard could help, and they thought that we could do a good job providing security and traffic control and things of that nature. So that way the nurses and the doctors can do their thing. So with the testing site, they didn't really know, everything was developing, right? Nobody really knew what was going on with COVID. We just knew it was dangerous and people were passing away. It was like real serious. So what they did was is they made these super drive-through testing sites, and we were there to do traffic. So basically, myself and two other people were there, and we kind of ran this 44-man Air National Guard team where people came from all over the state, volunteered. They left their jobs, left their families, and they were staying at this hotel in isolation. And we basically just started it and then ran it for a few months until the testing, kind of got I want to say standardized within the hospitals and stuff, and they came up with a better way to do it. So we were there to do like a mass opportunity to do it. Now, as far as the with the change of power, I was activated at the same time, but I actually was not down in Washington D.C. to do that because I was tasked out here to Atlantic City to start the COVID vaccination pod. So I do have a lot of friends that are there. I will say the National Guard down there, it's one of those things where there's a lot of stuff in the media about how the military is treated and things of that nature. What I will say is the military always takes care of their own. So we make sure that everybody's taken care of. We always do what we got to do to make sure that the mission goes on. And it's a difficult time right now. There's a lot of division in the country. So the National Guard is there just to make sure that our very important buildings and people and things of that nature are safe. So that's what it boils down to.
Right. And just, I don't know, just hearing this makes me really think about like what other people are doing, especially like you and, the people that you're with. It definitely makes me think about them, making sure that they're safe, which sure they are. Um, this is now again a little of a different topic. But you mentioned that you love to travel. If you could travel anywhere in the world, where would it be and why?
So I'm a very big like tropical island person. I like being at the beach. It's just my thing, right? And I'll say in 2018 and 2019, I went on a lot of trips. I went on like 34 different trips. It was like every time I had a free weekend, I was doing like a 3-day, 4-day trip to go somewhere. So I'll say that one place that I haven't gone that I really want to go to is Aruba. I've never been to Aruba. I hear the beaches are beautiful. I hear the food's great. I hear everything's really nice there. So I know that that's one place that I really, really want to go.
Right, and what I know you mentioned you really like beaches. So what's your favorite beach that you've been to?
Oof. I mean, I love them all, right? I think that I don't know. I want to say that Clearwater Beach in Florida. It's a very nice, like, calm beach because it's on the bay, so it's on the bay side, so it's not on the ocean side. So it's a lot more calm there. So I like Clearwater Beach. Santa Monica Beach in California is very beautiful. I love it there as well. And I know that when I went to San Juan, I had a really good time there. One beach that will kind of throw you off a little bit that's not very popular is I actually went for the military for 40 days. I went to Guam. So I don't know if you know where that is. Do you?
No.
So Guam is an island in the Pacific Ocean off the coast of Asia. Well, it's pretty far down. It's
Okay.
probably about I don't want to say exactly because I don't know for sure, but I want to say it's a few hundred miles away from Japan. So it's south of Japan.
Oh, okay, that
Beautiful,
makes more
beautiful
sense.
beaches. Yeah, it's oh my gosh, that place was so beautiful. And you know what? Now that I'm talking through it, I got to say that that was probably my favorite beach.
Yeah, and I always see these beaches that have like this beautiful clear water, and I always wonder what it's like at those beaches because like usually our family goes to Wildwood Crest, and their beaches are really nice too, but they don't have like the clear water. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I would have to experience that. You know, I hear a lot about it, but you know what I mean?
So where do you live? Where do you live, Miley?
I live in PA.
Okay, so you're in Pennsylvania. So you guys go down to Wildwood.
Yeah, right.
That's funny because I was looking down there at an investment property. So I do real estate as well. That's something I do on the side. So I have rental properties, and I was actually looking at Wildwood. I've never been to Wildwood to like hang out a lot during the summer. I went down there in what was it? Maybe it was November time frame or whatever to go look at houses. But it's a very nice boardwalk, right? It's huge. You guys got all the rides and everything, good restaurants and stuff. So is that somewhere you go every summer?
Yep, sounds about right. Yeah.
Awesome.
And we really like it there. I mean, it was a little different last year because of COVID and all of that, but
Sure.
hopefully it'll be, back to
Back
normal.
to normal soon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm hoping. So I love that you are such a motivated person, Scott. And I couldn't help but notice that you successfully use vision boards to help you achieve your goals. I started a vision board, but I have to admit, I don't completely understand it, and I didn't actually finish it. For those out there with big life goals, that need a little more motivation, can you explain what a vision board is and how it works?
Sure. So, I mean, vision boards can come in all different type of shapes or forms. I know that I've seen people that maybe take pictures of something that basically represent a goal that they have, and they put it on the board or whatever the case may be, and it's a visual reminder of their goal, right? So I kind of took that to another level. I like make like a little image where I basically take images of all my goals for the year, and they represent something very specific, and I kind of check them off as I go, right? So I think you probably saw it on Instagram or something, right? So you saw
Yeah.
that I posted a picture of it. So like each individual one, like I know last year I posted a picture of it was like I want to say like fruits and vegetables or whatever. And that kind of signified I wanted to really start doing meal prep and get my diet together and things like that. Then I think I had another one and it was a picture of like a house under construction, and it was because I was planning on renovating two or three of my rooms in my house. So it's like every little one has like this very specific like goal, and for me, it's a visual reminder. I actually keep it on my cell phone. I'll even show you. It's like on my phone. Where is it? You could like see in the background like some of my goals. My goal was to make senior master sergeant last
Yeah.
year, so that was like one of my goals. So it's like every time I open my phone up and I get ready to make a plan or do something or scroll through Facebook or Instagram, I'm like, all right, I want to do that, but let me make sure that I make time for my goals and my plans too. So just a way to keep me on track.
Right. And the funny thing is actually, I mean, I can kind of relate. Do you know what Pinterest? I'm sure you know what Pinterest is, right?
Sure. Yep.
Yeah. I always see fun things on there. I'm like, oh yeah, let's add this to my board. I'm definitely gonna do this at some point, and then I never do it. But I do have an incomplete vision board. So this is what it looks like.
Yeah. So I mean, there it is. So tell me about it. Let me see what's going on. I see some dance stuff.
Oh yeah,
What you
okay.
got on there?
So um, I have plants down here because like I'm a big plant fan. Sorry, this poster's
Mhm.
going all over the place. And then up here I have the National United States national crown because my goal is to obviously do my best there, and I'm just excited to see all the girls as well as the Ambassador Change Award. And then over here I have aerialist because I love Cirque du Soleil and all of that.
Uh huh.
Move it over here. I have modeling and then dancers in Disney because I want to be a performer in Disney. So yeah, that's mine. Obviously, it's very incomplete. There's a lot left, but that just leaves me for more goals. So yeah.
For sure. Oh, that's really cool though, because you know what, Molly, at 14 years old, I know that me personally, like I had goals and things that I wanted to do, but I wasn't as organized as you, and I definitely wasn't hosting online video chats with people all over the country, affected by something that I was affected by. So I'm really proud of you as well. I've seen you, over the last couple years grow up. I saw some of your videos when you were like just 10 years old and 11 years old as you were coming into your own. And now that you're 14, Miss, you got to tell me more about the pageant stuff, right? So you got to talk about it a little bit too. I know you're interviewing me, but I could ask a couple questions, right? So
Yeah.
tell me about Miss Northeast and all the different things that you're doing right now.
Okay, so yeah, my title is Miss Northeast Junior High United States 2021, and the pageant that the system is called the National United States Scholarship Program, and it's actually a very nice program. They do a lot of community service in this program, so I especially like it because I love helping others. And I've been working on a lot of projects between I know I decorated a Christmas tree for people in nursing homes like around Christmas time, and I think I made. I'm trying to remember, there were so many things I did. I know with one of my friends, Sydney, we collected food for helping harvest, and there's a lot of other things that I've done too. But I mean, that's actually a really good question because a lot of people are confused, and yeah, that's what I'm a part of, and what I've been working with.
That's really cool. I like to hear that you like to help the community. I would say that like when people ask me like what I like to do, obviously like I'm into real estate, I'm in the military, I work in accounting, like I do all these different things. But I would say that the overbranching thing that I like to do is I like to be a mentor and I like to help people that can't help themselves. So I know that there's going to be circumstances where people are down or they might be in the military and they need help from a different agency or something like that or maybe they're going through something themselves. I would say that that's like the biggest thing that I like to do in my life too. So that's good that you're in that direction already at such a young age.
Yes, it's something that I mean I really enjoy doing. I know we recently at our school actually had a kindness week, and I think that was actually pretty cool. I wasn't so sure about it at first because I was like, I don't know, is this cheesy or not? But now I'm kind of like, that was actually kind of cool. So yeah, it's over now. But um, about the vision boards, on your 2021 vision board, as you shared, of course, the BBF Global Ambassadors logo is pictured. Can you share a sneak peek preview of your goals for the ambassadors?
So my goals for the ambassadors, they're not rigid, right? It's not like I want to get to X amount of ambassadors, I want to do this, that, or other. And it's not like I want to help this many people get through something. For me, what I try to do with the ambassador program is I'm trying to empower others at this point, right? So I'm running the ambassador program, everybody sees my face. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to build subcommittees where people take leadership roles within the ambassador program and like that's their thing, right? And Molly, we talked a little bit about this too because I want to start one that's more like geared towards the youth and holding like, youth Zoom calls and things of that nature. So you guys can kind of like have your own thing without the stuffy adults all in the mix, talking about our boring stuff, right? And like try to organize the community in that way. There's a couple things that we have coming out. Obviously, VBF is doing the same thing as you're doing, where we're trying to highlight people that are doing more than a birthmark, right? And that's really important because we want to make sure that we're showing that it's not just about your diagnosis, it's not just about this birthmark that you have that people see. It's about highlighting what people are doing in their lives and then whether it's and I don't want to use the word despite because I feel like it's a negative word, but like despite your birthmark or despite the things that you're going through or whatever in your life. And besides the committees, I know that VBF has a bunch of initiatives that they want to push out this year. I know that Linda's always got a million ideas and she's going 100 miles an hour. And that's what we're here to do, right? So, as the ambassadors,
Right.
we're here to take what VBF is doing and push it out there to the community and to the world. And not only just, our little Facebook groups or things of that nature, it's also to the world renowned doctors and all these different agencies and all these different people around the world to get our message out there and to show that we're here and, do those kind of things. Now, specifically, there's a couple little fun things that we're doing, right? So I don't know if you saw, did you see that we just started a TikTok page?
I actually did not see that. No.
Oh, so are you on TikTok?
I mean, I do not have an account because I'm not allowed to have one because
Uh
of
oh.
dance studio rules. But I have it without an account. So
Gotcha. So we started a TikTok page, and it was funny because Alana, Alana Dolce. I'm gonna butcher her last name, but she kind of posted as Dolce.
right, yeah,
So she posted a video, and within like a day, it had like 35,000 views. It was crazy. Like it just went off. And it was just like a little clip. It was like, this is my birthmark. No, you can't touch it. No, it's not a burn. Yes, it's like, it was like real, like, it was like, just like a little thing, and it took like 15 seconds, but it went, viral right away. So it's like we look at that as a fun way to maybe do things that aren't, it could be awareness stuff, teaching moments, but it could also have a little bit of fun to it, right? So
Right.
that's one thing we're doing with the ambassadors. And like I said, it's all about the committees, right? So we're building these committees. They're starting off right now with 2 or 3 people per committee. And the goal is to probably try to get like 5 or 6 people in each of those committees or even more. But like that's kind of like the baseline. And then from there, just start doing projects within those committees, right? So we've always talked about virtual and regional meetups. Like that's a big thing we're trying to do. Obviously, with COVID, it's hard to do like in-person meetups. As much as like I want to get everybody together that's in like New Jersey and Pennsylvania and say, let's have
Yeah.
a freaking bowling alley thing or something fun or get everybody together. We can't do that right now, right? So
Right.
we've been deferring to like the Zoom calls and Instagram lives and things like what you're doing right now with the Zoom interview. So to me, like it's all about connecting people, bringing people together, and those are the big things that we have pushing out with the ambassador program this year. So
Right. And, I've been seeing the committees and what they're doing. I've been seeing the ambassador takeovers. I always enjoy seeing those. And, together, seeing it, I think when I see it, sorry, it, always makes my day because I'm like, oh my gosh, there's my friends. And, I'm seeing them post because some of them don't post as often. Um, and I'm really hoping, obviously, that I can see everyone in person soon. But as you said, we still can't do that. And like I said earlier, hopefully things will get better as we go on. But yeah.
no, for sure. And yeah, like I think that it's one thing to like comment on someone's picture and like, oh my God, or like, oh, you're so beautiful, or I'm so proud of you. Like you see those things and they're great, right?
Mhm.
But when you get to get on a video chat and you're actually talking to the people and communicating with them, I know for me, I think it would have made a world of difference and I would have been more accepting of my vascular birthmark a lot earlier in life. Me, I kind of went through life as an adult, as an early adult, like when I was in my 20s, and I was kind of looking at it like, I'm going to do everything regardless if I have a birthmark or not. But at this point, it's more like I have this vascular birthmark and there's all these people that are affected by it. And I want to connect with them and talk about the experiences and, link up and, it's just like you said with dance or me with the military, it's something that we all connect with. So being 14 years old and as long as you've had this community with you, it's pretty awesome that you get to grow up with this. And I'm a little jealous. I wish when I was a kid I had that too, but I'm really happy that we're able to get all this stuff together for your age group and then for everybody to come after us.
Right. And again, I'm extremely grateful for this community because I know a lot of people are saying like how they didn't have a community like this back then. So being able to grow up with it is definitely something that's very close to me. So this is now another little off topic thing to what we were just on. But I do notice that you are a huge sports fan and love to go to sporting events with your son. And I'll admit, I don't know a lot about professional sports. The most I know about is probably football because my dad watches that. But can you tell me one of your best memories at a sporting event?
So I'll say two of them, right? One of them was with my son, and one of them was with my dad. So with my son, last year, I got to take him to his first NBA game, and he got to go see LeBron James. And it just so happened that at the same time, like LeBron was getting ready to pass Kobe Bryant in scoring. And it was like one of those things where I just got super lucky where I bought the ticket 2 months prior to that. And it timed up to where LeBron was only like 18 points away from passing him. So the night that we went to go to that game, Donovan got to see LeBron James move into third place all time in scoring. Now, unfortunately, it was pretty sad the next day because we all know what happened with Kobe Bryant. But other than that, I mean, that night, like having that night with Donovan, I feel like I'll remember every moment of that night for the rest of my life. And he was so happy. We were actually just looking at the videos of it, and he was just like, "Oh, I remember when that happened," and he was doing some little funny dance. So it was really cool to do. And the other one I'll say is with my dad. So I remember I want to say it was 1999, and I was like a junior in high school or something like that, maybe a sophomore in high school. And the Giants were playing the Minnesota Vikings, and they were in the championship game to see who went to the Super Bowl. So prior to that, I had never been to a playoff game, and I know that you're not like big on professional sports, but like a playoff football game and the championship game to see who goes to the Super Bowl was like a really big deal. So somehow my dad like won some like ticket lottery where he was able to buy the tickets. And we went there and it was freezing cold. I remember it was like snow on the ground and the Giants were underdogs. We weren't supposed to win that game. And the Giants went out and they ended up, they took like a 21-point lead like before the game started. And the game was a blowout. We beat them like 41-0. It was like the most. It was just so crazy. Like the game was like I feel like it happened in a blink of an eye, but it was like football games are 3 hours, and it was just like the crowd was nuts the whole time, and it was just like one of the best times of my life. So I'll say that those are the two memories that stand out the most.
Right. And you said, sorry to bring this back up, but you said that Kobe, the whole thing that happened with Kobe, you were there like the night before that happened.
So LeBron James passed Kobe Bryant in scoring that day. So Kobe Bryant had been retired, and LeBron James was moving from fourth place to third place on the old all-time scoring list. And Kobe Bryant, so that happened that night, and I remember like it was like a big deal, and we were all talking about how LeBron passed Kobe and everything else. And then the next day, Kobe Bryant ended up passing away. So it was like this big thing where like the next day that happened. So it's kind of like a negative memory that's kind of tied to that positive memory. So it's sad and unfortunate that happened, but it was like I just remember being in that night and in that experience, and I remember how happy my son was, and it was like just like one of the most amazing times. So that's to clarify, that's what I meant.
Yeah. And apparently, um, well, my pop pop and my Uncle Scott are Giant fans too. We are currently Las Vegas Raider fans. What used to be, different. Obviously, I don't really watch football that much, so I don't really know much about it. But our family, we can say, I guess more my dad and my brother are Raiders fans. So yeah, and I know the Super Bowl isn't that next weekend?
Yep. So it's next Sunday, not this coming up Sunday, but next Sunday. And I will say, actually, I like the Raiders too because I actually was born in Los Angeles, and at that time, the Raiders played in Los Angeles, so I grew up watching them a lot. I've always been a Giants fan, so I won't say that I've never, I've always been a Giants fan. My dad like raised me to be a Giants fan, but I remember being a kid and watching the Raiders a lot, and I kind of like if I have a number two team, it would be the Raiders. So yeah.
Yeah, and I was gonna say something, but I forgot what I was saying.
Well, I know you asked about the Super Bowl a little bit. I am
Oh
because my job as a first sergeant. I was saying that so my job is kind of like morale and making sure that everybody's kind of happy and having a good time and getting taken care of. So I know that there's social distancing and stuff like that. But what we're doing is we kind of have like a little banquet here at the hotel they're keeping us at for the vaccination site. So I worked it out with the hotel. We're having a little Super Bowl party for the guys and the girls that I'm working with. So that'll be pretty cool.
yeah, that's so fun. I always love the Super Bowl because I think about. I know the one year I think it was Katy Perry or it's Katy Perry that sings "Firework," the maybe you're a firework.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did a performance one year, and that's like the
Yeah,
year
she
I
did the
remember the
halftime show
most.
not too long ago.
Yeah, we would buy wings and you know hang out together. It was always just something fun, kind of like a relaxing or happy, I guess.
It's just one of those things. It's like a part of like American culture, right? I feel like the day
Right.
after the Super Bowl should be a holiday because everybody wants to have a good time. The Super Bowl, stay up late, and then it's like, oh, we got to go to work on
Right, and you're
Monday.
like, man, I could have stayed up, but um, now I see you love the movie Avengers. Sorry if I said that wrong. If you could be any Marvel superhero, who would it be and why?
Oh my gosh. I guess my favorite is Iron Man. So Iron Man is definitely my favorite. Um, why? Because I don't know, he's like the coolest one. He's pretty smart and witty and funny. I try to be those things. And I mean, he's the richest one out of all of them. And I mean, who could beat the Iron Man suit, right?
Yeah,
So I would say Iron Man would be the one. But I mean, I guess all of them have their own cool little things about them. And yes, for everybody, I'm a comic book nerd. I like watching all the Avengers movies. I've seen them all. So
right. And have you seen WandaVision?
I watched the first episode, but things have been so crazy because I just started school back up. I'm actually doing my doctorate program. I have not had time to watch TV.
Right. Yeah, it's actually pretty good. I know they just came out with a episode I think today. We've been watching it as like a family because we used to watch Stranger Things together until we finished it. We're waiting for season 4. So now we're watching WandaVision, and yeah, I really enjoy it. So I would definitely
That's
recommend
cool.
that.
And Stranger Things is really cool. So do you like Stranger Things? You're a big fan of it, or?
Favorite show, hands down.
Yeah, so I love Stranger Things too. So
Right.
picture Stranger Things in that age group, like that's when I grew up. I was born in 1983, right? So the 80s was when I was those kids' ages. So
Yeah, I love the whole '80s vibe. Like I always say, I wish I was born in the '80s, or I wish not born in the '80s, but I was in the '80s because like I don't know, it just gives me such good vibes. So yeah, I don't. You're lucky for that one, I have to say. So before we end our interview, is there any additional information you would like to share with our viewers today that we didn't cover?
Well, I guess I'll just say that I'm proud of you because I really love this little platform that you're doing. I've been watching all the interviews come through, and honestly, it takes a lot for a 14-year-old to come out and interview adults from all over the country and all over the world. And I mean, you interviewed Chelsea, who's from Canada. You interviewed Ava, Tim the other day, right? And then now you're interviewing me. I think it's really awesome what you're doing, Miley. So like,
Thank
I'm
you.
really happy that you're a VBF Global Ambassador. I think you represent VBF very well. I wish you a lot of luck with your pageants and all the things you're trying to do. And if there's anything from a VBF perspective that you think that we can help you with, just let us know. And I mean, other than that, if anybody ever has any questions for me, that's what we're here for as ambassadors, right? So if you have any questions about birthmarks, about connecting with others, about the meetups, anti-bullying stuff, or if you're a parent with a child that has a vascular birthmark and you just want to talk to somebody who's gone through those experiences, feel free to reach out because we're all here for you. So I guess that's pretty much all I have. Tell your mom I said hi. I know I've been messaging with her back and forth about, scheduling this and stuff. So that's all I got.
Right. And definitely, I have to say my pageant platform is to, spread awareness on the vascular birthmarks, and being able to do this is, very important to me. So thank you for your time. And I had so much fun learning more about the man who started the Global Ambassadors, and you are definitely more than a birthmark.
Thank you, Molly. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much again.
All right. Bye bye.